responding to basically a response. So you just saw a response which was done initially when I was called on to immediately talk about something, not in the keynote. And then we also heard the Honorable Minister saying that he is having sleepless nights in the state. So when you're having sleepless nights in the state, you can imagine what's happening at the national level. Right. So with that, let me just talk about national impact of cyber security. Today we are sitting in a changing world. And this world where we are in a globalized era has international trade, investments and technology all linked together and inseparable. Earlier you had the global economy and cyberspace separately. In the 90s there was some overlap, and today it's a shared economy. Data, as was mentioned, has become the currency. Earlier, this currency was mostly with the federal governments, and today this currency is residing with the private business and operators. And if you see the way technology has developed, it was earlier driven by the technology community, and then it was driven by the technology community and the ISPs, and today it is being driven by the end user. So if you want a healthier globalization, COLA has proposed that you cannot do it without multilateral corporations, good governance, a good regulatory framework, considering social dimensions of globalization, respecting cultures and human diversity, and also ensuring that then you can achieve value creation, profitability and competitiveness. And the same is true for cyber security. This changing world, there are some game changers. When you have incidents, will there be a breakdown or collapse of the global economy? Or will it be able to be resilient? Will there be challenges from a governance perspective? Would it lead to a cyber war or conflict? Would some incidents of this sort create regional instabilities? And are we going to be able to use technology to solve this, or are we going to create new problems? So the Honorable Minister already talked about the benefits of technology, and when you also look at the issues, the hostile and exploitative technologies such as malware, social exploits, we see about scams, spams, as well as fake news, and the dissemination of radical ideologies that oppose freedoms. So these are things which have to be understood clearly and taken cognizance of. So why should we be discussing national impact of cybersecurity? Today, every equipment or device has electronics in it. And this electronic comprises of hardware and software. And the software resides on the hardware or in the hardware, and it's a set of instructions giving and guiding the equipment to function as it is intended. Any alteration to this will cause the equipment to function in a manner which is different from what it was intended for. And this alteration has the potential to cause unmanaged risks ranging from technological, economic, national, security, geopolitical to societal challenges. Let me take a case study of the Indian handicrafts industry. This industry has benefited from globalization. Exports have been increasing. US has been one of the major beneficiaries of these exports. ICT and e-commerce in particular is probably one of the most effective ways to open the Indian handicraft industry to the world by linking buyers and sellers in direct marketing. But the weakness is that the sector is unaware of the international standards and also unaware of the strict norms that need to be followed. There was a news article in the Cambodia Daily which talked about telling their industry to be careful because the risk of having their cargo confiscated by US customs authorities because they were using pirated computer software. And they would be prosecuted under law because of Unfair Competitive Act passed in various US states in 2011. The Indian and Chinese firms exporting apparel to California had already faced this, and this would also impact the Indian handicraft exporters. Why? One, as I told you about the unfair competition law, because it is preventing proper competition, promoting global fair trade practices, and using illegal or stolen software. You could be using unlicensed software, under-licensed, mislicensed, or illegal software. So you get unfair advantage of selling products in the United States. In addition, it has also been established that such software contains trojans, viruses, spyware, which brings about loss and damage to confidential customer data, loss to functionality and downtime, damage to the business and reputation, legal penalties and fines, and your infrastructure could be used by malicious actors for launching various sorts of attacks and other malicious activities. There are also privacy concerns. And this infrastructure can be used for cyber terrorism, malware propagation, phishing. So, when you start looking at such issues that your website and e-commerce sites could be used for all such nefarious activities, it's already been established by the group of 20 economies that 2.5 million jobs have been lost to nefarious cyber activities, including counterfeiting, piracy and cyber crime. And this loss has been about $125 billion annually, including loss in tax revenues. So very clearly you can start seeing what is the linkages of this at the national level. So the national impact, it's clear that the economic growth of this nation is increasingly dependent on the internet. The risks that are going to arise due to cybercrime and cyber security incidents have multifold impact on the nation, such as loss of country's reputation impact on the GDP growth, loss of FDI, unacceptable security and privacy business practices, thereby questioning the governance, and loss of trust, not just in the use of ICT systems, but also in trade. So let's touch upon each of these to give you some examples and why are these important. These are important because we are moving into a new resurgent India. And in this resurgent India, what is going to be important is the quality. Anything that you do, if it is not of good quality, it is not going to be acceptable. So when you look at security, whether it is physical security, personal security, emission security, data security, or communication security, it is all a factor of dependability, whether the service or the product. So basically, security is a quality.